So day 3, selection from expanded, the melismatic doxology. It's composed by Petros Lambadarios in tone 4 in Hagia, and as well another portion of this class as well will be the Sloenite. So this is from the Enus, sung in the Matins in ancient stihiraric form, in tone Plagal 4th, so tone 8, and it's composed by Iakovos Protopsaltis.
Good evening, everybody. Nice to meet you again. Today we are going to work with Doxology of Petros in tone 4, Hagia. Before starting, a few words for Petros. I should say this during the first day, because Petros, if we talk about Byzantine music, we think and we know, all of us, that there are 4 columns. The first is Ioannis Protopsaltis, 7th century and 8th century. The second column is John Koukouzelis. It's 13th century and a little bit 14th. And the third column is Ioannis Protopsaltis, 14th century and a little bit to 15 at the beginning. And the last one is Petros Peloponnesios Lambadarios, 18th century. Petros was born in 1730 and died 1777 or 78. It's not for sure exactly. Okay, he died very young. Okay, and he's the one that he built it up. He made his own way to write music, his own notation, and from this notation came the one we use, and led us huge amount of compositions. Without Petros, probably we would lose everything from Byzantine music. Okay, this is a short introduction, and he was the great teacher during these years in Patriarchate, but he was the great teacher for Turkish. I don't know if you know about him, you can read. He was a great musician. Okay, so we start. Doxology Hagia. Hagia is tone 4, and we will go through all the needed information in order to be able to chant it. So, I don't want to confuse you yet with the scale. Let's go straight to the melody, to parallagi. The bass is D, okay? And if we want to say, okay, let me know just 3 things about Hagia. The first is that when the melody goes from D up to Zo and comes back again, that Zo is lower. The rule we meet in the atonic. The second rule, let's say, is if the melody goes and works on Ke, Zo, Ni and higher, Ke, Zo, Ni, that Zo becomes natural and Ke comes closer to Zo. It's sharper. And when we return from Ni, Zo, Ke, Di to go down, then the Zo is again lower. And many times, and we will mention, I will make the remarks in detail, is that when the melody goes Di, Ga, Di, that Ga is sharper. And of course, if I come from Ni, Pa, Bu, Ga, Di, again this Ga is sharper, but I want to be very, very careful to explain to you exactly what's going on with Ga. So, the bass is D, ding, ding. So, if we say, okay, make a short introduction, what's going on, I would say, Di, Zo, Ge, Di, that Zo is lower, Di, Zo, Ge, Di, but now, Ni, Ge, Zo, Ni, Zo, Ge, Zo, Ni, Zo, Ge, Di. I go through parallel slowly. Yen, Ni, Ga, Bo, Ga, Bo, Di, Ga, Bo, Pa, Bo, Ga, Di, Ga, Di, Yen, Ni, Ga, Bo, Ga, Di, Yen, Ni, Pa, I divide this piece in many pieces, and I will explain in detail everything I can. So, everything I will explain here, we will use that for the coming parts of the Doxologia. First, και nature. Okay, I put that box here, the blue box, just to show you that when the melody, this is a rule in Byzantine music, and it's written in the Theotokou of Great Chrysanthos, the one of the three major teachers, that when the voice stays for 2, 3, 4 beats, does not stay like the can, but has pulse. Okay. What I mean? Okay? We will meet that later on, written. This diesis is for wu, because the melody goes fast to wu and returns. For pa, for pa. You know, in tone 4, many times pa comes closer to wu. It's really very, very important when we talk about accidentals to remember that they are not static, but they are dynamic. If I just follow what I read without knowing how to chant these notes with accidentals, will be sound like this. This is not correct, this is not right. With movement is that dynamic. And then first important thing for Hagia. Ga is when the melody goes to the ga, ke di ga, and returns to thee, that ga is closer to thee, but with a very soft way of interpreting this. I go in this place. And not this is falso. No. So, how? And then and I get into the area which is very characteristic in Hagia. Ke sharper, zo nature, and all the melody like this, and when we come back, we return, this ke is nature. I let you know. Then I let you hear. And now, and I return. Now, lower, bemol. So, and another very important thing is that I mentioned that the first day. If you remember, when I have the gorgon, this the gorgon connects elafron from the previous line, kedimata and oliver, and it's a little bit fast. So we should be careful to chant the intervals correctly. What I mean? And not Bougadiga. I did not move. I didn't say Bougadi. I just said Bougadi. No, this is a serious mistake. Bougadigabu. Bougadigabu. Slower. Bougadigabu. And not Bougadigabu. So, I repeat from this point, all those comments I make, if you keep in mind, you will see it's very easy to apply to the next pieces we will meet. And now, here, for this point, musical words are going on for years and still going. What I mean? One very important remark from my teacher, but also from few teachers, they are still alive and they are 85, 90, and they come from the Constantinople. This is the only text, Doxologia Hagia is the only text where Petros has marked that strong, sharp Ga. We have Hierovika, Kinonika, Polyeleos, many things, and you will never read this. That means that just for this Doxologia in Hagia, Petros wants that strong, sharp Ga. Okay, because I will chant it the way you will probably hear if you search in the internet or you hear chanters. I go here. Static, no. No. It's specific, very special sharp with, in reality, with dynamic expression, interpretation. How? It's dynamic. I can say, if you hear Greek Stanitsas, that makes a very soft movement to vu. Like, I don't want to let you think that I'm telling you it's Kliton, but like an idea, it's not Kliton, of course, okay, don't say that, but you hear, it's not correct. I just want to let you know exactly what I mean. It's not Kliton, it's this special kind of sharp Ga, but not say Ga, this is not correct, okay? So, once more. Questions, please. Is there any question? Not yet. I'm sure that they will come. So, we have three different cases of tone 4. Yes, please.
Could you repeat what you said about the 3-1 about the
yes.
3-1?
Yes, thank you. The elafron is vu. Remember. And look here. Vu. Trigoron connects. Vu. Bougadi. Bougadi. Even though I'm not careful, I will say Bougadi, Bougadi, but my voice does not move, does not chant the intervals. Bougadi, Gabu. If I say Bougadi, it's like I say Bougagagaga, something like between Bo and Ga.
It's like saying Ga and D at the same pitch.
Yes, I am a thief in music if I am not careful. That's the word my teacher was using. Don't be a thief. Leave the intervals the way they should be. Bougadi. This is the correct. The wrong, Bougadi. Okay?
Sing them clearly, in other words.
Clearly the intervals. Yes. Okay. So, I'm sure questions will come, but let's go on. I will go through Paralagifro. This looks like one important thing is to see how genius Petros was. Και πηγής ειρήνη was low, very low. And now in Numense, προσκυνούμενse goes, it's a different implementation of the line. We could say that this block is an harmonic. If you remember an harmonic. But okay. But this is the reason he wrote this book sharper. I marked that K, remember? K is sharper. Okay.
Kenzoni Pavugadi Mungadi Genadi Nili Kadi Abupani Gadi Gadi.
Okay. I remember once I was very young, and we were with the choir of my teacher in a great concert. For those they know the halls in Athens, the most historical hall is Parnassus Hall. And we were chanting a Polyelios in Hagia. And the bass went, from the beginning, the tonality went almost 1.5 voice higher. And we had discussions in the lessons where we lose the pitch of Hagia. Because you will see, if you try to chant Hagia and you are not know how to control, if it's Doxology or Polyelios, at the end it will be probably 2 voices higher. The problem is with Zo. Listen, I'm transferring to you very important information. This K is sharper and is strong enough. It's strong and it has the power, the energy to push higher Zo. So be careful when the melody needs a sharper K to not be the reason to send higher Zo. Listen, how easy to make the mistake. Listen. I will chant it not in the wrong way, in a right way, but with a wrong pitch of Zo. Listen, I'm already almost half tone higher. If that happens in Doxologia 4 times, 2 tones is the minimum that they will go higher. Okay. Questions about this, please? About something? Okay? And listen, this phrase, προσκυνούμενse, Doxologούμενse. Προσκυνούμενse in English?
We worship
Worship.
and glorify you.
In the previous part, it was και επιγής peace there.
And I'll
Και επιγής ειρήνη. Different meaning. Here, προσκυνούμενσε δοξολογούμενσε. Different meaning. And the melody supports really the previous meaning and this, which is different. Next one. I mark from the beginning this important gap. I will be very happy if you control this. In
Γαβογάβο πανηγού, κατηγάδιν, διδικαίνογένονδιν.
I repeat this phrase.
There's word one missing, that's all. Just have to mention that there's a word one.
Here, yes, word one is missing. I cannot write it now. So, word one should be written here. Listen please, here.
Διδικαίνογένονδιν.
Και nature, zo, bemol, lower. So, I chant it again and I continue.
Διδικαίνογένονδιν.
So, I really want to let you hear, this is the case where K is natural and Zo low, and suddenly K sharper and Zo natural. I repeat this. It's very, very common in Hagia, very, very. You will meet that many times. Χερουβικά, κοινωνικά, πολυελαίος, everywhere. Another remark. This is the same case with the word, but in another tonality. Θεού is gezo. And not this is not this falso. I did not chant the intervals. Okay, very important. And the melody comes down to thee, but even if the melody goes down to thee, that zo is still natural and K sharper. I repeat it slowly, slowly. That zo is lower. This, even if the melody goes to thee, the rule doesn't say, okay, anytime you meet the melody going to thee, that the zo coming down, it's lower. No, this is a case where zo, even if I go down, it's natural. And now, I mark here, so I don't want to write. It's a big mistake, serious mistake. If I get the pencil, and with the technology we can do whatever we like, but we shouldn't, we're not allowed to do that. If I try and I write sharps, every accidentals, it's a serious mistake. Don't do that. Some teachers, they do, but it's really a great, serious mistake. Okay, and now, I am at this point. I marked all those red, because from this point, I get into tone 6. Okay, so this is the, and this Torah will call this the pa, that part. That means I will go high or low, but it's going high here, in that case, with intervals. Somebody said something? Huh? So, you have questions, please? No. So, this is the, and I name it pa, and I will follow those intervals. Okay, so I come back. This is the. Now pa. Still tone 6. Pa 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 ni pa ga ngadi ngabo pa pa. I repeat. Pa ngadi ngadi pa pa ni pa ga ngadi. Back to Hagia. Questions?
Could you repeat what you said about Oamnos to do, that line, the second line?
Yeah.
The question is just a little higher in vocals.
Yeah, the question is, it's a good idea to repeat those phrases from Oamnos, the second line, and almost the third line. Something we, all the time we have with Hagia is when we go high, that K is sharper, Zo is natural. And they say, I don't want to use the word rules, there are not rules, because in Byzantine music there are not rules. There are, but there are not. So what's happening here? I go high, applying that K sharper, Zo natural, and I return to the. This is the. Okay, theoretical books, they say when I go down, going to the base, to reach the base, which is the, that Zo going down is lower. Even that is not correct, because the melodic phrase does not stop here. Continues, makes a loop. This is the reason going down, Zo will be natural. And thank you for asking. If you read Αργά Ιδιόμελα of Iakovos Protopsaltis, there are lines, they go to Vu, from upper knee to Vu, and that going down, that Zo is natural. So, I chant this again. Slower now. That Zo going to the was natural. It is natural. Okay. Now the melodic phrase ends. That Zo is lower. Okay? Other questions, please?
So the Zo is lower if you're going down, but it doesn't go up again.
It happens like this. It could here Zo going down, but we have other melodic phrases in other pieces. Goes up, and it is natural. I don't want to say it's a rule to make it a rule. What you say. Most of the time it happens like this, but it's not a rule. There are not rules. I'm not presenting to you rules to manage Hagia. Most of the time, yeah, that's correct. But could happen in hieroglyphica that even if it doesn't go up again, so it's natural. But most of the time, it is like this. And I repeat the last phrase, which is very common in this doxologia. Remember that is not static, it is dynamic. Okay? I move on. Okay, this is easy. I put it that in order to see that, okay, if you get into the idea of Hagia, it's not really too difficult. If you ask me, Hagia is difficult and grave, varies is many times more difficult than Hagia. Read. Remember, I stay but I don't stay. Just like this. Now, I repeat it. Now, and this again. Okay? Questions, please? Now, if you read the first line, you will see that from thee goes to me, and this line ends to the low knee. Okay? If you remember the scale, sorry, coming to return, the scale is, we will do all this up to low knee. Tonate. The whole line is just tonate. Some of the old chanters, when they end the phrase and there is the accent of the word, they go zokedi. Okay, because the accent of it's imas. That's why they emphasize. Questions?
So basically, through the whole piece, it sounds like Zo is natural, except for maybe like 2 instances, then it's lower?
You mean just this one?
Yeah, just this
Oh,
one.
this one. One lower zo is here, following the rule of what is going on in tone 8. This is zo in Hagia, which is lower. This is natural, and in case you say that zo και δι, that will be also lower.
The previous one was missed. Melos.
Okay.
In prosdexem.
I will repeat it. Listen. Και δι γα βου. Did you realize that that voo was a little bit sharper? I'm not right. Yeah, exactly. Like the previous I mentioned before. But it's not written here. Doesn't mean that if it's written, it is. If it's not, it's not. Of course it is, and this is the oral tradition. And thanks God, technology gives you all the tools to control, to hear what we mean oral tradition, and to control everything you hear. When I was 20, in order to find 10 minutes of chanting of my teacher, I should go with a tape recorder from the old one, around 15 kilos, take 2 buses to go to church or to go somewhere else, or to his house, to record, to pick up, to go back, to hear, to listen. This is the most, in my opinion, the most important thing is that you can click the mouse and you have thousands of recordings. Unbelievable for these years.
In prosdexem in deisin imon o καθήμενος εκλέξιν του Πατρός και ελέησον ημάς.
Okay, and now, sorry, I did it. Ευλογητός. It's written here. We met Ga without any mark on Ga. Just to remind us this, okay? So I just put this in order to have an optical approach, but it doesn't mean that those intervals in Hagia, they're static. All the time they differ according to what happens with Ke, what happens with Zo, with Ga. If I don't know how to chant sharper notes, I will say Gadi. This is not.
Gadi gezon, gezon izoyem, lizoye gadi. Gezon, gezon, gezon izoye di. Gezon izoye di. Gabu panihu, gadi gadi. Akonini loyem, zoni loyem, kedin, di gabu, gandi gezodi, ganga, nini ponin, zoni loyedi, gedi, loyedi.
So, the starting line, the first line, that zo is nacho. Okay? This is something we already met sometimes. This is just, I marked it to remind you to chant the correct intervals and not like one note, all of this. And this.
Το δικαίγαμου γανδίγελοδίζο.
Lower. Now, those notes are ga and should be nacho. Not
Γελοδί γαγαγανί.
that's falso.
Γελοδί γαγαγανί.
Okay. Okay.
Ευλογητός η Kyriaon Θεός των πατέρων ημών και ανέτων και δεδοξασμένων το όνομα σου εις τους αιώνας. Αμήν.
Another remark, but I will make right now. You see here it's a zo, and on zo it's written Ephesus. When we say that zo, in the cases that exist, zo is lower, it's not really very hard. It is, but not
Zoyedi,
but
zoyedi.
like this. In this case, Kyrie, Lord, Kyrie, καταφυγή. Petros wants to really to let us hear that he is really pleasing, Lord, pleasing, and that's the reason he needs a very strong lower zo. Okay. So this is the reason I marked it. And then many times we already met that many times that the guys suffer. Okay. I start, and they will comment when we reach it.
Zoyedi gemdigabu radigadin dindigabu panibu radigadin randigelodigem radigadin Pamuga, bunga, liga, boga.
An harmonic.
Pamuga, bunga, liga, boga. Ligeloni, zoni, zoni, liga, bunga, ligeloni. Oni, oni. Ganga ligelani longeri kedi mugadi gavupani gadi ligedi.
I don't know if you heard that this part has something no one of the previous or the next coming have. According to old composers, if you want to meet something different in the melody, in one doxology, I'm talking about doxology, if you want to hear, to discover something different in the melody, go to Kyrie Katafiki. It was something old composers they were using. They were putting some phrases, melodic phrases, and they did not repeat in previous parts or in the coming, the next, okay? And the red color I wrote here is because it's a little bit difficult. Okay, this is the reason.
Kyrie kataphysin ayenithis imin anyeneoike yeneon egoipa
Questions? If you have no questions, it means that I'm not doing my job well. Okay. So, okay. And we move to the next paradigm. Okay.
It means also you're a good teacher, so we understand.
This is.
Oh, thank you.
That's right.
So, Paratinon, the only thing I would like to comment is that Petros is using here, he does not use to do that, but here he does. He makes a copy-paste of the phrase Agios o Theos, exactly the same Agios Kyros, using the same melody, Agios Hans, okay, different.
Paradinon to elem osutis ginos consistem aios Otheos aios ischiros aios athanatos eleison imas.
Okay?
You didn't do the paradigm for it.
I cannot escape.
The Papanini
I'm sure that probably you thought, what he's doing here? This is what I learned.
the Papanini Jadi Kazoni Rojem the Gabu Gam the Kazoni Rojem Zoni Rojem the Kazin Zojem the Gabu.
I repeat this. Okay. Here it's dangerous to make the following mistake.
Zoge the Kazin.
I didn't chant K.
The Kazin. No. Zoge the Gabum. Gandhi Gandhi. Zoge the Gabum. Gandhi Gandhi. Pavanini no Kazoni no Kazin. Kezoyen Gabu, Gandhi Gandhi.
question from Christos, and he asks, is there a specific time during the liturgical year when this doxologia is chanted,
Yes.
and why?
Why? I will give the telephone of Petros and you will phone him. We chant this doxologia twice a year. In the third Sunday, Stavro Proskynesios, of the third Sunday, and on the 14th of September, Holy Cross.
So, Stavro Proskynesios is
Again the same.
the veneration of the cross on the third Sunday of Lent.
Yes, and something to add is that after Agios Othos blah blah, there is asmatikon. You know, asmatikon is Agios Othos but long compositions. Two pages, 1 page, 3 pages. Agios Othos, Agios Hieros, Agios Thanatos Eleison. Especially for this, Petros wrote asmatikon because the chanter goes down before the priest, who is going to come with the flowers and the Holy Cross, and they go around the church, and he chants in Hagia, asmatikon, Agios Othos, Agios Hieros, Agios Thanatos Eleison, and then the priest, Sosum Kyrie pronouns.
We have not the right to chant any other time? Idea?
It is like you try to wear a costume, going to the fields to work. This is special costume just for these days.
Not any other Sunday.
You said you're not allowed. I cannot tell you you're not allowed, of course. But according to tradition, this is chanted twice a year. And we also have from other composers in Hagia Doxologia, just for those 2 days.
And just to confirm, it's practiced and considered the Aργή doxologia, the slow doxology, for those 2 days.
Yes, those 2
It doesn't
days
mean, it doesn't
we
mean
don't
you can
chant.
say Aργία and other.
Exactly. And thank you for this comment. Another comment, very important, is that at the beginning, during the first day, I said the first critical parameter is tempo. Tempo, how fast or how slow we chant. You must know that doxologia, slower doxologia, and the fast one, they have the same beats per minute, and they are 100 beats per minute. Even if we say doxologia fast or doxologia like this, it's slower not for tempo, but for the implementation of the extension, if I'm talking correctly, I'm giving to you correctly the meaning, the extension of the words. In fast we have paratinon. Here we have paratinon, so we have more characters, but the tempo is the same, 100 beats per minute. There are on the internet metronome. Online you can check what is 100. Okay? Thank you very much.
They'll take the break now, right?
Yeah, so